Hello, this is one shot of Princess World. It's a fantasy adventure game where the players take on the roles of various princesses with different outlooks, strengths, and abilities. They all act as exemplars for their own realms and work together to thwart the dark forces of the Fade. This game is going to be run as part of the Gauntlet, which is an online gaming community with members from across the world. You can find the Gauntlet at gauntlet-rpg.com. You can find the forums there, our details in the podcasts that they run, the eZine Codex, and the Gauntlet Hangouts for which this game was arranged. So I'm Rob, or Treb. You can call me either. I go by he, him pronouns. And let's go around the players and have them introduce themselves. Starting with Marley.
Hi, I'm Marley. I'm calling in from Boston, Massachusetts. She, her pronouns. I'm fairly new to the Gauntlet community.
All right, Kim next.
Hi, I'm Kim, she, her pronouns. Weirdly enough, I'm also calling in from the Boston area.
And Daniel.
Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm not from the Boston area. I'm from Zagreb, Croatia. My pronouns are he, him. And this is my first time playing on the Gauntlet.
Welcome, Daniel.
Thank you.
And let's start with safety tools first before we get into character creation. In this game, we're going to be using Lines and Veils. So Lines and Veils is a list of themes and subject matter that we are going to come up with that the players might not want to deal with in the game. Lines are elements which will not happen in the game at all, and veils are things which may be implied or happen off screen, but they won't be shown explicitly. We also have the X card. So if something comes up during the game that makes anyone uncomfortable in any way, they can veto that content by either signaling X with their arms or calling X card out loud. If they do that, we'll pause the scene. I might ask what content is being vetoed if it's unclear, but we won't ask why it's being X-carded. We'll just rewind the scene a little bit and start over with the content removed. Finally, we have an open door policy. So if for whatever reason people need to step away, if there's an emergency, you're not feeling well, or you just need a quick break, just let us know and we can pause to accommodate you. So I forgot to make a tab for Lines and Veils, so I will do that right now. But in the meantime, we have everybody should have access to the drive folder. We have, I think it's 12 different characters to choose from. Does anybody have any preferences? Have they looked at them yet?
I have a preference for pirate, but I'm not super committed to it.
Yeah, they all look so interesting. I'm not sure I have a clear preference.
My preference would be the Pauper Princess. I was looking at that one. but I'm fine with anything.
Pauper and a pirate. Oh, pauper or proper?
Pauper. It's the
Oh, the
it's
poor
in
one.
the poor one.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Complement those nicely.
Obviously, you also have to pick something that starts with P.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, there we go. That narrows down. Okay. Well, I think that leaves me with the proper princess.
So I've just put in some example lines there. No veils, but we're going for like a fairly Saturday morning cartoon tone. So just nothing that you wouldn't want your kids to see. If you had any. So we had a pauper prince. It says somebody else was going for proper.
I'm proper.
Okay. Kim, do you have any preferences?
Pirate, please.
Okay.
Should we be able to edit the lines and veils? Or are we supposed to tell you?
Oh, okay. And I'll just change that. Copy. Change link. You should be able to do it now if you refresh the page.
Yes, it's working now, I think. Yeah.
Cool. So let me just go through how the character creation order goes. So once you've chosen your playbook, you each choose a favorite color for your princess. The only color that you can't choose is black, because that is the color of the Fade, and the color I use. And you'll be using these colors when expressing truths, which truths are statements about the world that affect the narrative. There are also maybes, which come up more rarely, which are things which are rumored, or there is possibilities, but they haven't been confirmed yet. We are playing to find out if they are true or not. After selecting your color, you pick a name for your character. You express truths about each of your playbooks has a different list of truths to express. And if when somebody expresses a truth, if it sounds like it might be unpleasant, something that's dangerous or sad, then anybody can feel free to point that out, and it will be written in black to denote that it's a unpleasant truth. That doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. It just means that it could cause problems. Is everybody okay? Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay.
I am going back to the playbook to look at examples of truths.
So one of the I'll just find the page for it. So the page where they give examples of truths is page 9 in the rulebook. Stuff like my father has made many upgrades to my crown. My sword can cut through anything, which is unpleasant. My wand is always at the ready. My ray gun affects gravity. My jacket has a lot of weird stuff in its pockets, also listed as unpleasant. It's just like a short statement about the thing in question that might make it. Oh, go smartly.
We're still just making characters. What did I miss?
Yeah, we're still making characters.
Okay.
Sorry, when did you drop out? What was the last thing you heard?
I believe Kim was asking about playbooks.
Okay. You mean about the examples for truths?
Yes.
Yeah. So that was on page 9. They've got some examples there
Of the reference or of the rules?
of the rules. Yeah.
Okay.
Feel free to tell people the truths as you're writing them down, just so they can chime in and see if they think they sound okay or unpleasant.
Should we make our truth unpleasant, or we can choose, or should we make them balanced between something that's good and bad?
Like I said, unpleasant doesn't necessarily mean bad. It just means it can complicate things in certain ways. But just write them down and then go through them, and we'll decide if they're unpleasant or not.
Okay.
Okay. I think everybody's got their truths down. You want to just go through them quickly? Starting with Rain.
Okay, Rain. I'm Rain. I'm the pauper princess. My first truth is my crown. My crown is invisible and can make me invisible. My rags are full of patches made by the poorest of my servants. My loss, I have lost my shoes with which I had traveled across the world. And the truth about me is my most precious possessions are my memories.
What do folks think of those?
Does that sound okay, or should I change something?
No, it's not. I don't think you need to change anything. It's just whether people think they should be marked as unpleasant or not.
They should all be marked as unpleasant, or?
What do people think? Marley, Kim, what do you think of those?
I don't know. Wearing rags full of patches might be unpleasant. And losing your shoes sounds really unfortunate, but I don't know if it's unpleasant.
Okay, should I make them more?
You can choose to keep them as is and just have them marked in black instead of your own color, or you can change them to be more not unpleasant.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they're defined as rags and losses. I'm not quite sure how.
They could be unpleasant if they are. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what I should do with them.
Your rags or what you're wearing, there could be something beneficial about them in some way.
Okay, so I can make them more beneficial. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, there could be something special about them,
Okay.
But
I like the patches idea, so maybe I will change it to something more magical about them. Make them a little bit more magical.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about my loss, how it can be beneficial.
No, if it has to be, if it's something that's definitely going to be unpleasant, then it's just going to be unpleasant. There's nothing to do about that.
Yeah. Okay. So I changed my rags to. My rags are full of magical patches that speak good advice to me.
All right. So everything except your loss you can put in your own color.
Okay.
Marley, want to go for yours?
Sure. I'm London, they, them. My color is royal blue. My crown is elaborate and beautiful, but a bit uncomfortable. My gown is swishy with lots of pockets. A proper princess is always prepared. My scepter is also a thermos, which always has hot tea. The top twists off to make cups. And about me, I am in charge even when I am not supposed to be.
And how do folks feel about those? I need to check the rules, like if I'm supposed to say whether I think they're unpleasant or not.
Well, the last one, I'm in charge, could be unpleasant in some situations, I think.
Yeah, the in charge and the crown I kind of wrote to be, they could be good or bad depending on the situation.
Yeah, and the crown too, exactly, yes.
Yeah, I think it's a little more interesting that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a maybe, I can mark it, we can mark them as maybe unpleasant, I think is one of them.
Oh, these are truths.
These are truths.
So they're maybes are a different thing. I'll just look up the explanation there. So a truth is something that is real and significant in Princess World. It takes precedence over action taken against it. It could be a literal thing or interpreted figuratively as needed, but is undeniable in its narrative strength. A maybe is something that is believed or known that is narratively significant, but might not be real or true in the story. It has some power, but is written in pencil because it might change or it might be erased, and we play to find out if it's valid or not.
So is it okay to have ambiguous ones like that, where sometimes they're pleasant and sometimes they're unpleasant?
Yep.
Okay.
And Kim.
I am concerned that one of mine is too close to someone else's, but let's go. I am Maud, the pirate princess. My pronouns are she, her, and my color is purple. My truths are that my hat lets me talk to fish and other aquatic animals. My coat can hold a lot more stuff than it looks like. My weapon is my sword occasionally encourages me to make bad decisions because it's exciting. I was unclear if I'm supposed to have one or two truths about myself. It looked like there was space for two, but it seemed like everyone else only put one.
I think it's just one.
Okay. Let's see. I really like shiny things. Is my truth. Is the truth about me.
Okay. Anyone have anything to say about those? Like the sword is obviously intended to be unpleasant.
Yes.
I really like shiny things. I think has the potential to be unpleasant.
I could see that.
Okay.
Is it okay that the proper princess's gown has a lot of pockets and my coat can hold a lot of stuff? Or do we need more diversity than that?
Yeah, they are kind of similar.
Okay. Give me a second. How about my coat enables me to be acrobatic?
Sounds good. So the last couple of steps are you pick 2 of your moves. You write, draw, or describe some details about your princess and think about the first impression they give when they meet someone. And then after that, we go on to creating threads between the characters. All right. Is everybody ready?
Okay, ready, I think.
Okay. Marley, I saw you nod your head. Kim? Okay. So once everyone's got the character ready, we go around to introduce everybody's princesses and give your first impressions. Once that's done, we go around again and ask the initial threads questions, and then hand out initial threads based on those, based on the answers. So who wants to start? Who wants to introduce himself first?
Sure, because my character's in charge. So yes, London, they, them. First impression is that London always looks very put together and elegant. They look like they know the rules, and they expect you to as well.
Okay. Daniel or Kim?
I'll go. Maud wears a lot of stripy clothing and often seems to speak before she thinks. She has big stompy boots and 2 long, untidy braids.
Okay, Daniel.
Okay, Rain is looks 9 years old, and she wears rags with patches of various colors, and her hair is full of leaves, autumn leaves, brown and orange, and she walks barefoot, of course, because she has lost her shoes. First impression is that she doesn't look like a princess at all. She looks very inconspicuous. Until she reveals her name, who she is, nobody will know that she is a princess. Unless they know her, of course.
All right. So, let's start with London. Ask your 2 initial phrase questions.
Sure. So my initial threads are, which one of you told me a surprising secret? And which one of you believes I'm too full of myself?
I suspect I think you're too full of yourself.
Okay.
Okay, and I am the one with the secrets.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think the secret was?
Secret about you. What does the thread says exactly? I'm sorry.
It says, which one of you told me a surprising secret?
Okay, the secret is I would have to think.
Do you want a moment and we can work on Kim's first?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. So Maud believes that London is too full of themselves, which I think is reasonable. I'm supposed to give you 1 thread. What does that mean, Weaver? To give someone a thread?
So, giving someone a thread is it's similar to a truth, but it's more of it's a statement about the relationship you have with them. It's might be a feeling or a belief or hope or dislike about that character related to their answer.
Okay. So, like, should we come up with like a background moment where maybe she took me down a peg or something like that, or we didn't get along or had an argument because of this thought, or is it enough to just say Maud thinks London is too full of themselves?
So for the examples, like for the in the rules, it says for the fairy princess asks which one of you makes me laugh the most. Proper princess says that's me. So the fairy princess writes down two different threads, which are I'm glad you never get me in trouble for my pranks, and I wish you'd laugh more. So things like that.
So I write something on my held thread.
So no, you give Maud the threads.
Okay. So Maud gets one thread. Kim, how would you like that phrase? How would you like to think about that?
My initial thought is just that you're far too concerned with not getting dirty, but I'm not sure how that turns into a thread.
I'm happy to play with that.
Rob, how does that turn into a how would I make that a thread?
No, like so London would be giving you a thread based on your answer to the question.
Mm-hmm.
So if you I think like I feel like Maud doesn't respect me or something along those lines.
Oh, so it's how London. It's from London's perspective.
Yeah.
Based on Kim's answer, I am inclined to say Maud doesn't understand the difference between proper and prissy. How's that? Is that interesting?
Yeah.
I think I'm missing something mechanically about threads.
Yeah, I'm getting a little confused about this too.
Can you explain it again, Rob?
So if you have a thread with somebody, you can roll to pull a thread, which if you were physically at the table, you'd flip it face down to pick any one of the options in that move. You can communicate with the person regardless of distance for a scene until one of you ends it. You can give them a +1 or a -1 to their result when they're performing a move. You can use their special once per pool, as if it were yours, or you can get a result of 10 on a basic move you using them without rolling the dice. It's just a connection. It's like a relationship connection between you and that character, but you can use it to get a benefit mechanically later on.
Okay, so if the proper princess has questions that says, which one of you believes I'm too full of myself? And I volunteer my character as the person who believes that the proper princess is too full of themselves.
Yeah. Then they give you a thread based in your answer to that question.
So on my character sheet, London would write a thread?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe think it's funny when London gets dirty. I really just don't have a good feel for this.
Neither do I. I'm sorry.
So it's your belief about it's your belief or feeling about Maud that you're giving them.
Okay.
Like in the example I read out, the fairy princess asks, "Which one of you makes me laugh the most?" The proper princess says, "That's me." The fairy princess thinks for a bit and then writes down 2 Freds. "I'm glad you never get me in trouble for my pranks, and I wish you'd laugh more."
Okay.
Give me a sec.
Okay, I have written London wishes Maud would respect them more. Yes.
I'm hoping it becomes clearer with gameplay. I'm still, I'm not sure what I'm missing, so I can't ask the right question.
Yeah.
It's just a tag to establish what the relationship is like between you and the other character.
Okay.
But you can use it for mechanical benefit later on.
Okay. By playing true to that trope or trying to improve it? Like, would Maud be able to trigger that mechanically by being disrespectful to London, or trying to show that she actually does respect London?
Let's see. Fred. So it comes up as a move called pull the Freds. And it doesn't say how you would do that. Narratively speaking, you can pull a Fred to do to make the move. Okay. I would assume it means that you are either playing to or you're playing to that Fred, or you're interacting with it in some way.
Okay.
Either playing to or proving them wrong.
Okay. All right. Well, I feel like discussing this more will hopefully this will be clear as we start to roll with it. Okay, so Rain told me a surprising secret, and I am supposed to give her 2 threads about this.
Okay.
Daniel, have you thought about what you would like your surprising secret to be?
I don't know, maybe. Okay. I have met a person while traveling across the world who looks just like you.
Oh.
And looks and acts just like you. I'm not saying that she is a princess also, but that could be maybe unpleasant if it shows up in during play.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's intriguing. Okay, so what does London think about that in terms of Rain? So one of them, I think, is that London might not quite believe this.
That's good.
So London thinks Rain is prone to exaggeration.
Okay, great. That's good.
Let's see. But what if Rain is correct? London thinks Rain is more worldly than they are. Or they is London. So slight inferiority complex possibly with London, thinking Rain.
Sounds
London
good.
likes to know everything, and then Rain, has this sphere that maybe knows where she knows more than London does.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, I added those to your sheet.
And remember to write them in your color.
Oh.
Maud?
Okay, my two questions are: which one of you has sailed with me, and which one of you have I stolen something from?
I think Rain would be the one who has sailed with you because you have nothing to steal from her. She doesn't have anything except her memories, of course.
So that makes me the one that you stole something from.
So I think for London, I find your shiny jewelry irresistible.
Okay. Do you think London knows that it's Maud? Maud is the reason their jewelry keeps going missing?
I feel like if you call me on it, I probably give it back. But
well, in the interest of keeping this an active game, let's say that hasn't happened yet.
okay.
London knows some jewelry has gone missing, but has not yet suspected that a fellow princess would do such a thing.
Okay, so how do I put that on your sheet?
So I think you click the proper tab, and then under held threads.
Yeah, I was more about how do I say it as words.
Oh, right. Maud finds London jewelry. Yeah, an almost irresistible target. There we go.
Okay.
And then I think you make that purple. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think Maud wishes Rain would join their crew. Possibly
Again,
or no, you were never crew. You were just kind of along for the ride.
Okay. That sounds very good, yeah.
And then I need to give you another thread. I think Maud feels protective towards Rain. Doesn't want to admit it.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
And Rain.
Okay, so my initial threads are: which one of you helped me when I was at my lowest? And which one of you feels sorry for me?
I could see London being either of those people.
Yeah. So Maud, you get to choose.
I get to choose?
Yeah.
How about you get to choose? Because I can see either of them.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I think, yeah, because we spent some time together on your pirate ship, maybe you were the one who helped me when I was at my lowest. And the proper princess maybe feels sorry for me because I am poor, and a little bit because I don't have as much jewelry as her. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I write this. So this is Maud. Sorry. And this is London. So I have to give Maud 2 threads for helping me. So the first one would be Rain. Rain wishes Maud would invite her to join her crew.
Nice.
And the second one would be that Rain respects Maud for her bravery. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
And for London, I write 1 thread. You feel sorry for me, so I don't know. Help me out if you have a suggestion.
One of the things I was thinking of was, since this is from Rain's point of view, it could be something that's not actually true. It could be a misunderstanding.
Sure.
Like Rain could think that London pities her because of the rags and no shoes and stuff like that.
Okay. So maybe Rain can think it's a negative.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? Yeah. Okay, so how would I write that down? Rain thinks London
worries too much about appearances.
No, but yeah, but London pities her, maybe. maybe too much. I could write.
So, just how does Rain feel about London pitying?
Well, maybe I'm thinking Rain doesn't like to be pitied, and maybe it's a little bit annoying to her, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And although she is wrong about how London really feels, that's not really what London's feeling is, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that maybe it was more about, London was a little more, there's probably a lot of things that London just sort of does to be gracious. And because you're young and stuff like that, you get the extra cookies and stuff like that. But like,
yeah, okay.
And maybe coming across a little condescending or something like that. That's not really what London is trying to do, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's a good relationship, I think, idea.
Yeah.
For playing, right? Okay, so I'll just color these in my color, which is orange. Okay.
Okay. And the last thing is so once everybody's created their princesses and discussed how they work together, we go around starting with the Weaver to collaborate and suggest possible problems and challenges that the characters might face. Feel free to make them as big or small as you like, as mundane or fantastical as you wish to imagine. Then once we've gone around once, I'll add one more. I can also spend any blots of fade to add to the list, or maybe save them for later. And once we have the list, we discuss for a bit how all the items might be connected or not, and then we'll begin with we'll begin the game. So oops. So we're just going to put these on the notes and the notes and ideas page on the Weaver tab. The strange storms are plaguing the kingdoms. And Rain, let's start.
So I put another note or something that I think.
Yeah.
Is that it? Okay, I can choose anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe. one of the kingdoms risks descending into civil war.
Maybe specify which kingdom. It doesn't have to be one of your kingdoms. It could be a whole other kingdom that we haven't covered.
Which ones are left? Okay, so maybe, do you have a suggestion? I'm thinking maybe it's not one of our kingdoms. So maybe the
Skateboard?
The skateboard, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking about how to call it, how to name it, but the skateboard kingdom is really good.
Mm-hmm. There was a skateboard princess. I thought she was kind of funny.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay, and London.
I think the Inter-Kingdom Guild of Bakers have requested an audience with the council.
Okay. And Maud.
Something like there's a party that's happening that none of us want to go to. But again, I'm stuck on words. Let's see.
Shadow Princess is throwing her 16th birthday, and her parties are always a bummer.
Shadow Princess's 16th gala is upcoming and no one wants to go because her parties are sad.
I'm now picturing her as more like emo princess.
Mm-hmm.
She's got awful taste in music.
Oh, gosh. She just wants to sit around and read bad poetry. It's just really...
Oh my god, her party is just a giant open mic. But only she performs.
Oh, gosh.
The shadows in the realms, I should be calling them realms, sorry, are behaving strangely. And let's see, one. Did we decide that I am in charge even when I'm not supposed to be was unpleasant?
I believe we identified it as problematic, yes.
Okay, so let's change that to book. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, so I meant to have a break at the hour, and we've run a bit over. So I'll have go for a break and come back at past.
Okay.
Works for me.
Great.
Okay. All right. So before we start, we are supposed to discuss how we think these problems we've come up with are connected or not. So does anyone want to talk about that at all? The strange storms are plaguing the kingdoms, the realms. I'll just correct that. The skateboard realm risks descending into civil war. The Interrealm Guild of Bakers wants an audience with the Princess Council. The Shadow Princess's 16th birthday gala is upcoming, and no one wants to go because their parties are sad. And the shadows in the realms are behaving strangely.
So strange storms and strange shadows could go together if we wanted them to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Guild of Bakers could be cranky about the Shadow Princess's birthday cake.
Okay. So, I will start us off with asking the question: where is the Princess Council? I believe the proper princess has a move that deals with this. Yep. So, proper princess, you decide where the Princess Council convenes. You may also determine the order in which princesses can speak at the council or break any tie votes. So you decide where the Princess Council is meeting, and all choices about the issues to deal with and where to go and what to do will be done in character.
All right. So I think it's a lovely spring day, so the princess is going to have it outside, probably in the gardens of her palace. She's got a very nice spread of delicious foods and tea and things like that, so everyone can be comfortable. Have something to eat as we discuss business.
All right, you guys just are having a meeting in character. So.
Oh. Well, thank you all for coming, taking time out of your busy schedules. I know you all, we're all very busy, I'm quite sure. So shall we get down to it? Looking at the agenda, we have several matters to discuss. There's some strange storms going on. We've been asked to look into also strange shadows. Don't know if they're related, but they're at least seem quite universal, quite all over the realms. The skateboard realm is having a bit of a bother over there as well. Possible civil war, who knows? That could be an exaggeration. Possibly they just need to have some mediation and work it all out. Not quite clear what the sides are, what the concerns are, but something to discuss. The Interrealm Guild of Bakers would like to speak to us. I believe they have a representative waiting in the foyer, which we can call any time. They were also kind enough to provide some of the petit fours, which we are snacking on today. I think they're excellent. Oh yes, I see that Shadow Princess's 16th gala is coming up, and she has sent us all invitations to this address. I can hand those out now. Gray is sort of an unique color for a 16th birthday gala, I should think, but really, who but Shadow Princess, really? So here those are. Yes. Thoughts?
Well, I think the skateboard realm issue is not so big, maybe, but these people take their skateboards seriously and their practices, and they have those. You have skateboard people, you have bicycle people, and scooter people there living, and they never can agree about their the proper size and measurements of their half pipes, or what you call them. So this can escalate, but maybe we can wait. I think the biggest issue is the birthday party. Knowing the Shadow Princess, she's really gonna freak out. What do you think?
Well, of course, we'll be attending the gala. That is the only proper thing to do.
Do we have to?
I don't know if I'm on the list, but
oh yes, oh yes. There's an envelope here for you.
Oh, thank you.
You as well, Maud. All of us are on the list.
Okay.
Can you maybe lose mine?
That would not be proper at all. I mean,
I know.
It's. I do love the Shadow Princess. I truly do. But, well,
maybe we can come up with an emergency. That's why we can't go. There's an emergency. Which one of these
emergency?
Which one of these issues seems like an emergency?
Well, I mean, depending on whether the Civil War is merely a philosophical one, I heard something about surfboards or something like that, or is a more physical one that could be urgent or not. Storms? I mean, the shadows in the realm behaving strangely, that actually seems as though it would be Shadow Princess's domain entirely. Really should discuss with her whether or not that's her doing, and perhaps that's not a problem to be solved. I'm not quite sure. Oh, do you think it's an expression of her birthday? Is this like a way of reaching out and being like, so sort of foreshadowing? Foreshadowing, excuse the pun.
I see what you did
foreshadowing, there. Yes, foreshadowing the event. A way to start the festivities early, do you think?
If we could ask her, I'm not sure why she's not here today.
No, I don't know. I mean, I ask for RSVPs, but, well, thank you for coming regardless.
Well, maybe we can make a better party for her. Perhaps she's not. This is the problem, because she is sad because no one wants to go to her party, and that's why she is not addressing the shadows issue.
Do you think she needs an event planner?
Why? Do you know one?
Perhaps.
Well,
I think she does.
Who doesn't really? I mean, it's true. It could be a bit of a, I mean, ambush is such a such a tacky way of putting it. Surprise party. That's how we could put it. We could preempt her party with a different party that's a surprise party that comes first.
Should we roll this into whatever the bakers want to find?
I think if we all join forces, we might be able to manage it.
Yeah. I'm wondering if no one wants to go to her parties because they're sad. But if we make a party, ambush or surprise party, as you say, that is not sad, that is really good party, would she enjoy it?
Yes, I do. I've never been entirely clear on whether sadness is her style, if that is her personal milieu, or if it is more that she's just sad and actually genuinely needs cheering up. Like, does she enjoy being sad? Is being sad her happiness? She's a very complicated person. I know she's been trying to tell us so in her poetry for all these years, but maybe there's some truth to that. I really don't want to listen to 6 hours of slam poetry, to be completely frank. I will because I love her, but must we? Must we really?
I feel like we don't have to.
Don't have to which?
I think that we can find adequate reasons not to listen to her poetry. I like the idea of investigating this ongoing crisis with the Bakers' Council.
The Bakers' Council, yes, we can call them in. Yes, could you send in the representative?
All right, so the guards send in a man with a very, very tall hat, tall baker's hat, and some epaulets, and sort of military-looking garb that announces him as chief baker of the guild.
Excellent, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to come speak to us today. I understand that you've had a matter of importance to bring before the council.
Yes, we wanted to discuss the matter of the cake for the birthday party that we haven't been able to get any word from the other realms about their contributions.
Contributions? How do you mean?
Well,
has the Shadow Princess not commissioned a cake through you, or she has and it's gone awry? Or?
Well, all the realms have to contribute their own their own little touch to the cake. It's part of the showing a fellowship between the realms to collaborate on the cake, and we haven't heard anything back from anybody.
What do you need to know?
Oh dear.
We just need to know what you want us to put on the cake from your side.
Oh, so have any particular themes been suggested so far that we should all work within? We probably don't want to just all shout out something that doesn't go together. Otherwise, it'll look a dog's breakfast. It just won't look. It won't do. We need something thematic to make it seem like a cohesive artistic piece, and yet represent each of our realms. So, yes.
So we haven't heard anything from the skateboard realm yet, or or your realms, or the space realm.
Oh, yes. Space Princess is a bit notoriously difficult to get. She's probably off planet again. She's a bit spacey, and it's really hard. She always says, I try and get messages to her, and she's always, so much static up in space. I never get your messages. I think she's just avoiding me. But so
There's a big lag.
Lag.
Getting
There
messages,
you are.
yes.
Space. She won't even tell me what planet she's on. It's not like I'm going to visit her there. I don't have a spaceship. No. Anyway. All right. Shadows, but us. Brainstorm with me.
Shadows. She doesn't like vivid colors or anything like that.
We could make a sad cake.
Yeah.
A sad cake. She does. Again, does she truly like sadness? Is sadness her happiness? It's just very...
Yeah, but then, if we make a sad cake, then no one will go to a party again. So we have to make maybe...
Oh, how about this? Each of our shadows on the cake, so maybe around the edge, in our colors, because she can't object to that, because there are personal colors. So I would have a royal blue shadow, and Maud would have a purple one. Things like that.
Oh, very nice.
Orange.
Very fancy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds good.
Do you think you could work with that, Chef?
We can put something together. I think, yes.
Yes. And that way we can also, for the princesses who haven't gotten back to you, I think we could just, perhaps we could just make that decision on their behalf now and just maybe let them know what we've decided. And so in case they have any objections, but really if they're not getting back to you already, I suspect they won't get back to an objection either, but we'll give them that opportunity.
I think you should roll to convince the baker that it's okay to do that.
All right. How do I roll to convince the baker?
So, convince others. You roll with persuade.
Persuade. Oh, look, I have a good persuade thing. So how many dice am I rolling?
Just 2d6.
2d6. It's a 3 and a 4, so that's 7 plus 2 is 9.
Okay. So on a hit, they listen to what you have to say and find you either charming, convincing, or trustworthy. Pick one.
Trustworthy, I think, here. Because, yes, there's a bit of a risk, but London is going to make sure it all works out okay.
So they will attempt to fulfill your request, but you must first provide them with a favor, gift, or incentive.
Favor, gift, or incentive?
You have a lot of shiny jewelry.
It's funny you should mention that, because I was looking and I actually cannot find a few of my pieces. I don't know what's going on.
How could you miss any?
I know. It's it's one of my there's a blue necklace. I was going to wear with this outfit, but I don't know. Perhaps it's being cleaned. Look into it later. Right. What can we do to make this work more easily for you? Well, we can provide you with silhouettes of the other princesses that might make your work a bit easier. I'm pretty sure we can sketch those based on the portraits in the gallery. Am I really supposed to give them something? Is that how this works?
Provide them with a favor, gift, or incentive. Yeah. So
Really intensive. Well, I suppose we could find some special ingredients that might be particularly helpful in baking this cake. And of course, if there's any left over, you're welcome to use it for your own creations. Let's see, what would make a nice dark color? She likes dark colors. Well, actually, no.
Some shadow root from the actual shadow realm would be helpful. So some shadow root from the actual shadow realm would be useful.
That would probably taste better than squid ink too.
Yes, yeah. It's so tricky to make black frosting. I don't know how you did it, but shadow root, that of course would explain it. I was thinking of something like black licorice, but shadow root I think would be much more suitable to the occasion. Yes, we will get you some shadow root. I'm not sure we have any on hand at the moment, but we will make sure you get some.
Okay. Thank you, Princess. We'll get on it with what we've got so far.
All right.
All right, and he excuses himself.
Mm-hmm. Yes, actually, Princess Maud, maybe you would be best to go obtain some shadow root since you can get them most directly with your ship.
By myself?
Well, I suppose we could come with you if we'd like.
I'd come.
All right, we'll go.
We can all go.
We can all go after the council meeting. I'm slightly unclear on the structure of this game. Like, are we actually going adventuring, or are we just having a council meeting?
Yeah, you're actually going adventuring, but you're deciding what you're doing.
Going adventuring. Okay, I wasn't clear if we were trying to resolve all the plots here. Okay. All right, so Shadow Root, and that takes care of that. Skateboard Kingdom, I really feel we have to go. I don't feel I have gotten enough reports to really know what to think about that situation. What else?
We could maybe swing by on the way back from the Shadow.
Yes, what else have we got on the docket?
Maybe if we make a really good cake for the party, then that would unite all the realms, because everyone would come to the birthday again.
Oh, so and then also use that for like negotiation and try and keep everything up.
Or maybe I'm just happy because we are going on Maud's ship. But yeah, I don't know. We can look for the shadow root first, and then we can swing by to see the other problems.
Yes. What have you been seeing about these the storms? Are we in danger on the ship? Has sailing been fine, Maud?
Sailing has been fine. They seem to be mostly concentrated on the shoreline.
Shoreline, interesting.
A lot of weird things wash up, but if we're out to sea, we should be fine.
Interesting. Some sea magic or something going on? Well, perhaps we'll have to go look. There was that. That's storms. Looks like we can learn about those in the shoreline. Skateboard realm. Get a bit of shadow root. I don't think she guards it. I think we just have to go. Though we might need to be. I hate to go to another princess's realm without just being very straightforward and ringing the doorbell and such. But I am somewhat worried that we will be asked to witness some of Shadow Princess's poetry readings. And you know how those can sort of get in there and it's very hard to excuse yourselves. And I feel like we have other things we need to get done today. So maybe that should be a bit of a stealth mission, just a in and out sort of thing. I think.
I bet you could just bore the Shadow Princess with some of your statecraft if we get stuck.
All right. Yes, I could give that a go. Yes, I'll give that a go. Okay, no, it'll be fine. What do we find? I got it wrong hand. And then, of course, the shadows, but we're going to the shadow realm, so that will probably turn up one way or the other there. Anything else that we need to handle before we adjourn? More tea?
Of course.
Oh, there you are.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay. So you're gonna head to the Shadow Realm to get some Shadow Root, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, and also if anything shadowy, the strange shadow natures make themselves clear, that would also be a reasonable thing. Keeping our eyes open for that.
Okay. Let's so we'll just skip to you guys on Maud's ship en route to the Shadow Realm. Maud, what do the storms look like as you roll closer to the shoreline? What is strange about them?
They're very localized. Like, you can very much see where they begin and end. They're sort of spots of storms.
Okay. Rain, what does the shoreline of the Shadow Realm look like? Like, what preview does it give of what you have to look forward to?
It's a very. It has very large cliffs, and the whole realm is actually covered with mountains, which cast a lot of shadow on them, and the cliffs are dark. And from the ship, you can't really see the land until you get closer. I would say it looks very unapproachable, and mostly because you can't see what's in there most of the time. But you can see the big cliffs and the I don't know. That's it.
Okay. And how are you going to go about coming into Shoreline? What are you going to do? Because you don't want to come into a port, presumably, if you're trying to do this stealthily.
We will anchor offshore and have a rowboat we can row in.
Okay. So you get the rowboat out and into the water and climb aboard. Row towards shore. The storms that are localized around the shoreline rock the boat pretty heavily. What do you do?
I think I probably say something like "wee."
London is holding onto her seat with one hand, where the other hand she's got an umbrella over her head, trying to stay dry.
Yeah, I like being on a boat too. It's wee from me too. I'm a little bit cold because I have no shoes and the water is really cold, but I still like it, I think, until it becomes really dangerous.
So there's a crack of lightning from above, and for just a moment you can see something, a shadow in the water beneath the boat.
Did you see that?
See what?
No? Where?
No, there was something underneath the boat. Am I not speaking loudly enough? It's hard to hear you over the storm. There was something under the boat.
There's water and fish under the boat.
Besides that, those I was expecting, unless it was a very large sort of fish. There was a strange shadow. Did you see it?
Nope.
No, me neither. I pulled my feet out of the water because I was, I'm a little bit scared now. What do we do? How much more do we have? Sorry?
Yeah. She still has her umbrella, but she pulls out a flashlight and she starts like trying to shine it underneath the boat to try and see what it was.
Okay. So
I have my magic aquatic hat talking, my aquatic life talking hat. Are there any fish I could ask about this?
You could. Maybe roll to convince others in the area.
Okay. Find where that. Okay, no. Sorry, I have to re-find the email. I can't find the link.
So that would be roll with persuade.
Okay. Do I have any persuade?
You have one.
Okay. So roll 2d6, add 1.
Yep.
Six. The fish are uninterested.
There are no fish nearby. Which is strange.
I'm sure it's fine.
And then the boat lurches as something wraps itself around the backside.
What kind of something?
Well, it looks like almost like a tentacle, but it's just inky black.
London is kind of frightened, but shows it by getting imperious and addresses the tentacle. This is not the way you introduce yourself. This is very inappropriate behavior. Come to the surface and tell us who you are properly.
I feel like you're asserting your authority. So
I am asserting my authority.
Roll with poise.
Roll with poise. So that's 8 plus 3 is 11.
Okay. You stand firm. They choose. They either do what you order or treat you the way you want to the best of their ability, or they suffer a temporary unpleasant truth. You express it. So I'm going to say they suffer a temporary unpleasant truth, which you can now express.
So how does this part of the mechanic work?
The same way that you have truths about your characters, you can basically impose a truth upon a secondary character.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and he's
and they basically take these like hit points. So the more they have, the closer they are to being defeated, or they'll either give in or run away.
Okay. I will say that the temporary unpleasant truth is that it will not touch the boat. Boats are not for touching.
Okay. So it unravels itself from the back, the bow of the boat, in a sort of, oh, excuse me. But then it sort of points its tentacle and is like, it's almost like periscope looking at each of you, and rearing back to strike. The boat is not for touching.
Oh. I feel like my sword has some things to say about this. My sword would like to my sword would like to encourage me to make a show of force. I don't necessarily know if this is the thing we should be hurting yet, but I definitely want to interpose myself between it and the other princesses in whatever way I can do while not overturning a rowboat.
Okay. So depending on whether you're actually striking it or just like standing your ground, this will either be braving danger or thwarting opponents.
Okay, and when I have a move, my character move says I may give the Weaver a blot of fade to make any brave danger roll. Can you give me a little blot of fade? Can you explain that mechanic a little more for me?
So blots of fade are a resource that I get, which I can spend to introduce new challenges. I spent 3 to introduce this one. So I get blots of fade basically from unpleasant truths that are expressed during creation. I get 1 or 2 when you swap stats, which you can choose to use a stat in place of another when making a move, and depending on where they are in relation to each other on the stat block, you'll either give 2 or 1 blots of fade for that, or you like right now you have a move that says I get 1 when you use it, or if a princess accepts it as the price of an offer.
Okay, and you told me that I'm making a choice between brave danger and what was the other one?
So you're either braving danger or thwarting opponents. If you're acting to harm or if you're acting to harm it, basically, then you'd probably be rolling to thwart opponents.
If you see the basic moves tab, that's what they're referencing.
Okay. So I believe that I am I'm not bluffing, but I'm definitely not making the first move. So that sounds like braving danger.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is pluck. I have a +2 to pluck. Let's roll 2d6.
And because it has if so, another thing I should explain about temporary unpleasant truths. If someone is affected by a temporary truth, if it's just if it's beneficial to them, they get a +1 to a roll. If it's detrimental to them, they get a -1. So if you could use the unpleasant truth that's already on the creature, then you would get a +1.
And the unpleasant truth is boats are not for touching?
Yeah.
I would need to persuade it that boats include the people on them.
Mm-hmm.
London, it seemed to work out so well for you the first time. Want to try to convince it boats include people on them?
Well, obviously they do. What sort of person would think it wasn't? So sure, I will happily try and make a persuade roll of that effect.
Or at least sea monster people. That's who.
Mm-hmm.
So are you doing this instead of imposing yourself between it and them?
Oh, Instead of... No, I guess I'll stick with my original plan and... I will brave danger. I will put myself between tentacle person and the rest of the party.
Okay.
I think that makes more sense than having London shout at it some more.
Yeah. Okay. So roll with pluck, or you have a move that lets you do otherwise.
I'll try rolling with pluck. It only worked so well last time. Okay, that's a 9.
Okay. On a 9, you can pick one. You don't suffer any direct difficulty, or you create an opportunity for someone else. Express a temporary truth for them.
I would like to create an opportunity for London to be additionally persuasive.
Okay. What's the truth you're creating for them?
The sea monster is afraid of London.
Okay.
Or the sea monster is intimidated by London. But you're very imperious.
I'm very imperious, and this is not proper at all.
When you speak, we listen. Why should a sea monster act differently?
It's true. I'm in charge even when I'm not.
Well, it suits me right now for you to be in charge.
Okay.
Right. So it's looking more towards Rain and Maud then. Like it avoids looking or pointing at London as much because pointing is rude.
It is rude, really. So yeah, I'm happy to roll a persuade. Also, we should give Rain a chance to do something at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sort of imagining the tentacle doing the, like, I'm seeing you.
So do you want to let Rain do something, or?
Yes, because the two of them are, facing the monster. and I am a little smaller, I think, and maybe not so visible. But I'm very scared. So I want to grab the oars and start to row, to paddle as fast as I can so we can get to the shore as fast as we can.
That sounds like braving danger.
Braving danger. Yes. So I roll with pluck, right?
Mm-hmm.
My pluck is +3. So 2d6.
You're very plucky.
You're an urchin. They have to be.
Uh-huh.
Why did I roll 4 now? Dice.
Oh, you didn't clear it first.
Okay, so should I do it again?
Second. Yeah, re-roll. I cleared it for you.
Okay. So I just write 2 and before d6 and then click submit. Okay. Oh.
Hey.
But so that's 6 with a plus. No, 7 with a +3.
Okay, so it sees you going for the oars, and it shoots forward its tentacle and grabs the oars and chucks them in the water.
Oh, that is completely unacceptable. Because the oars are very clearly part of the boat.
You tell it.
So yes, I'm going to give the scolding.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, I'm asserting my authority yet again. With
How
my
far are
+1
we?
from
Probably within
far?
swimming distance at this point.
Mm-hmm.
How far are we from the shore?
Like I said, you're probably within swimming distance. Like
a couple minutes swim.
Yeah.
So London will straighten their exquisite and beautiful and slightly uncomfortable hat crown and draw themselves up and say, now, we just discussed this. It is not appropriate for you to be touching boats. That includes the oars quite clearly. That the oars, the mechanism of propulsion is obviously part of the boat, as well the cargo within it, in particular, the 3 of us. What on earth are you doing? Return those oars immediately.
So this is either asserting authority, or you're trying to convince them that oars are actually part of the boat.
Yeah, I think I'm actually trying to convince it to return the oars. And that oars and people are included in the notion of don't touch the boat.
Okay.
Obviously.
Obviously.
So roll to convince others.
Okay, that's a 9 plus 1 from Maud is 10 plus 2 is 12.
Okay. So in a 10 plus, or in a, they listen to what you have to say and find you charming, convincing, or trustworthy, and they will attempt to fulfill your request to the best of their ability.
Okay. I think convincing of the 3 of those.
Okay. So the tentacle disappears and then comes back up with the oar and tosses it back in the boat.
Thank you.
I grab it again and hold it as fast as I can, and I just row again.
Okay. Brave danger.
Again? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see.
You're really damaging our bargaining position with the tentacle.
So it's 8 plus 3, 11.
Okay. On a hit, you make it through, past, or away from the trouble. On the 10 plus, you don't suffer any direct difficulty, and you create opportunity for someone else. I'm gonna say like you just roll. You manage to roll away, and the tentacle, whatever it is, doesn't seem to pursue you. Has decided you're probably not something that it should be bothering with.
Hurrah!
Great. Wow. I almost thought we lost the ore, and then we would be lost.
There'd probably be some dolphins along eventually to push us to shore. But good work, everyone.
Yeah, good work.
Excellent, excellent. I'm still quite wondering, is that typical to have tentacles come and threaten your boat as you're trying to row to shore?
It's only happened to me once before, and that was a very unusual situation.
All right. So this would be reasonable to consider this a very unusual situation.
In my experience, yes.
And you would know, being the pirate princess. All right.
I don't sail a lot in the Shadow Princess's waters for fear of an invitation, but
It's true. It's
in
true.
general, in other oceans, this would be unusual.
That's true. This could simply, yes, if it's the citizen of the realm, one really shouldn't defeat it, so to speak. Perhaps we should leave well enough known for now. Does it seem to have retreated?
Yeah, it's hanging back. It's decided to leave you alone.
All right.
We've got another 7 minutes before the half hour.
All right. Shadow root. Who actually knows what it looks like? Because I realize I do not. Rain, you're quite worldly. Do you know anything about this sort of thing?
I don't know. It seems strange. Roots don't have shadows when they're underground.
No, but it's from that like black plant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like a black plant. Yeah,
Weird one with the tentacle thing.
Yes, I remember. I've seen shadow root. Yeah.
You have. Can you
Yes.
identify it? Where do we look?
I can try.
Uh-huh. Excellent.
Yes, I have seen it because my most precious possession are my memories. So I have a memory of a shadow root. And if that works mechanically, I can look for it somewhere in a place where I've seen it, maybe in the rocks around the shore.
Well,
I can go look around.
The shadow root is found, as you might imagine, in an area of deep shadow. But you know where to look. But what about the place you remember is difficult to get to?
It actually it's like how do you call it? A rare flower that grows in rocks, right? So it's always in because the shadow root wants to escape, avoid being eaten by some kind of animals, you have to climb. It always grows in very very difficult terrain, like in rocks that you have to climb to get them. So it's really hard to obtain. And apart from that, it grows in places where it's very dark, where the shadows are deep. So who knows what dangers dwell in those shadows.
Okay. So this is the Shadow Realm. So you can probably from your knowledge, you know that there is a area that is not far from here that is usually enshrouded in permanent shade. But what stories have you heard about the shadows there?
They are very dangerous because the rocks are very acoustic, and sometimes when you go there, you can hear echoes of the Shadow Princess's poetry, because she sometimes walks there, and she likes to be alone most of the time. So she practices reciting her poetry there, and because the echoes are, we can even maybe hear the poetry if she is not there. So I don't know.
Poor Shadow Princess.
Yeah, we can also meet her. That's also a possibility.
We all have our bad habits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. So if it happens, we can just brave it.
Okay. So it's just coming up in the past. So we'll break there for another 5 or 10 minutes if do people want a longer break? No? Okay.
5 minutes is fine.
All
for
right.
me.
So we come back at 25-2 as you go look for the shadow root.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So, you all arrive at the area that Rain remembers, and it's basically a cave. An entrance to a cave network that's in this part of the realm, where you should be able to find some shadow root. But already, as you approach the cave, you hear the echoes of the Shadow Princess's voice. And you can't quite make out the words yet, but from the tone of her voice, it already is hitting you with a sense of sorrow.
Okay, who wants to go first?
Well, I don't know what they look like.
I'm sorry, say again?
I don't know what they look like.
That's true. Okay, I'll go.
We're right here with you.
Okay. I take a deep breath and slowly enter the cave. I'm not covering my ears or anything. If I hear some verses, I will try to take them in and experience them. I'm not a coward.
Roll to brave danger.
Okay, again, pluck. This is pluck, I think, yes. Okay. So 1 and 4 is 5 plus 3, 8.
Okay. So on a hit, you make it through, past, or away from the trouble. On a 7 to 9, you either don't suffer any direct difficulty, or you create an opportunity for someone else and express a temporary truth for them.
Someone else means
one of the other princesses.
Not NPCs, but any of the other.
It could be an NPC, but
okay. An opportunity. Okay, so I will choose. I pick one of those. Yes, I'll choose. You don't suffer any direct difficulty.
Okay, so you just march forth into the cave and just let the you just sort of tuning them out, basically tuning out the poetry.
Yes, it's very sad. It's not bad poetry, and it's just very, very, very sad, and it touches you deep in your soul, and you just really can't. After a while, you can't really move forward without crying about the fate of the world and everyone. So it's really, really depressing. But I try to. I can't stop myself from crying, but I try to walk, to put one foot in front of the other, and to walk to find I have a flashlight or something to find the roots. Or if I don't see in the dark, I can just feel with my hands. But it's hard.
Okay.
And yeah.
So you probably are gonna find some. Yeah, you're gonna find some root in the growing out of the wall, but it is like you said, it is high up in the cavern wall and out of reach. And it's just this sort of. It almost looks like shadow, like just a tree, like a tree without any leaves or anything on it. Just a tree branch without any leaves or anything on it is just sort of sticking out of the rock wall. But it has the quality of a shadow.
Okay. So I will try to use my move, Stone Soup. When you are in great need, state what you do have and roll with Persuade. If I'm reading it correctly and understanding it, I can state that I do have something, right? To use to
state what you do have and roll with Persuade. So this is, I think you have more than you thought. Yeah, sure.
So I'm thinking maybe I have a piece of rope. Then I can make a small like a lasso with and then throw it up so that I can climb more easily and get a piece of the root.
So have we sent Rain in here alone, or are we just following Rain?
It seems like you sent him in alone, unless you want to go in after him.
Yeah, I was sort of imagining that we were following, and
Okay.
Rain was just in the lead. But if you're enjoying the solo adventure,
No,
I'm
you
also
can
willing
of
to be
course.
like, okay.
Of course,
So,
you can come. You can join
in
me.
that case, I will need you to brave danger if you are entering the cave.
Brave danger. Oh, in that case, I think it's a daring don't.
Okay.
Which is, as long as I maintain decorum, I may give you one less blot of fade when I replace poise.
Okay. So that is Pluck with Poise is going. Yeah, so that would normally be 2 blots of fade, but you're just giving me 1.
Yep.
In that case.
So that's 6, so it's 9.
Okay.
And then I have to roll as well? Yes.
So, yep, I'm just going to add that blot of fate to my pool. Uh,
7 plus 2 is a 9 for me.
Okay. So on a 7 to 9, you can make it through, past, or away from the trouble. So you can make it through the cave. On a 7 to 9, you can either choose to not suffer any direct difficulty or create an opportunity for someone else and express a temporary truth for them.
I think I'm fine with just not having any additional difficulty.
Okay.
I think so too.
All right.
Same for me.
So you both also are, it does the poetry does still affect you, but not maybe as deeply as it would otherwise. It's still you still feel sad listening to it, and maybe tear up a little, but you aren't otherwise crippled by it. And you come upon Rain as she is trying to figure out how to get to the shadow route on the wall.
Well, I think I have some rope so I can climb with. I'll just have a look.
Oh, here, take my handkerchief.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, perhaps we could give you a boost.
I was about to say, I can certainly give you a boost if the rope thing, if you want to do that instead of the rope thing. Or if the rope thing doesn't work.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try with the rope, but I don't know how boosts work. You can...
No, I meant to lift you up.
Oh, yeah, sure. We can try that. How is it very high? Maybe we.
So
maybe we
for
did
you,
both.
Like it's probably about 16 feet up.
That's a lot. I think I'll just check if I have rope, and then if it doesn't work, then we'll figure something out. Yeah.
So roll to persuade then.
Okay. Yes. Okay. 5 + 1 is 6. I don't think I have rope.
You probably. Let me just see what I could do here. So you see at the corner of your eye, like you had like a flashlight, right? So you see like one of the shadows that was cast by Maud or London in the back, from the light that was casting back, just sort of shift out of sight.
Okay, so first I check in my little bag, and I just turn to the other princesses and say, start crying and say, "Sorry, girls, I don't have any rope. I don't know how we're going to climb up there." And then I see this shadow, and I go, "What was that?" And I try to flash to light it to see what it was. Did you see that?
Did I see what?
I don't know. It's over there. No, it's over there now. We're trying to find the moving shadow.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So, London, your shadow is gone.
My shadow? The shadow's been stolen. This is very improper.
How do you misplace your shadow?
I don't know. It's never happened before. But everyone else's is intact.
Seems very careless of you.
It really does. I don't know how I managed it.
It's just the saddest thing to lose a shadow.
It really is. Do you
Isn't
hear the
it?
lyric, the poetry? I feel it's speaking to this moment.
Yes, it's so sad.
All right. Well, where has it gone? Where do shadows go when they're lost?
Does anybody have a knowledge roll that would help them here?
A knowledge roll?
Yeah,
What's
you all
knowledge?
have a special move on your sheets that refers to things that you know.
So
I can find out. Oh, go ahead.
No, go first.
Who's really in charge? What are people really feeling? Who or what is out of place? And what is my best approach?
Mm-hmm.
I have, when I scope out a location, if I succeed, I can ask what's not what it appears to be.
That sounds.
Because it has to have gone
good.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll with pluck.
Okay, let's see. Clear. Yes, clear the dice. And my pluck is 2, so I get a 9.
Okay. So on the 9 you can ask 1.
Yes. What's not what it appears to be?
Well, what's not what it appears to be is that what you catch sight of the shadows that you're casting in the walls, and they are moving independently of you.
Well, it looks like our shadow's on the verge of bolting too. I almost think we should go find the princess.
I think it is time. We need a shadow expert.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
So maybe we should get the shadow root and then go find the princess? One of you,
Yeah. Since
if one
we're
of you
here,
can give me a boost. I am quite acrobatic, it turns out.
oh, good.
Um,
Sure, we'll give you a boost.
I have a great deal of experience shimmying up ropes and the like on my ship.
excellent.
So how should that work?
So let's see. Shimmying up to it would probably be Brave Danger.
Okay. Let's see. This time I'm just going to say you can have... I'm going to do Cannonball, which is I may give the Weaver a blot of fade to make any Brave Danger roll I make with a result of 10 without having to roll the die.
Okay.
Et voila.
All right. So you're able to get up to the shadow root, and you just pull a length of it off the wall.
Great success. I believe if we leave this cave and go back to the dock, or go back to where we landed, we can find our way back to the Shadow Princess.
I think that's an excellent idea.
So, on your way out of the cave, as you established earlier, the Shadow Princess does come here to recite poetry, and it seems like she has decided to come at this point to do so, as she bumps into you as you make your way out of the cave. So the Shadow Princess has a long dark hair and sort of a gown that is almost made of shadow, that is like flowing. She has. She's not like she's not like you would expect. She has like she's not like bored or gloomy. She greets you quite timidly actually, and says, "Oh, I wasn't expecting to find you here. Hi."
Hello. We're so sorry to surprise you like this. We had the Princess Council. I suppose your invitation got lost. But one of the things we were asked to look into was a strange shadows acting strangely, and mine seems to have been misplaced.
Oh, yeah, I'm having some trouble controlling the shadows right now.
Oh.
I just came here to try and think and see if I could figure out what to do about that.
Indeed. What sorts of problems are you having? Do they usually just do what you want? Are they servants? Do you order them back? I don't quite understand how your powers work, to be quite frank.
I'm supposed to sort of not exactly control them. I can control them, but I'm supposed to keep them well behaved.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not behaving well right now.
All right.
Has this ever happened before?
No. I don't know what's going on.
I'm sorry, that sounds genuinely distressing.
It's so sad. How can we help? Is there anything we can do?
So it's come to my attention that my poetry is not good.
Oh, sweetie, that's not true.
It's not true at all. It's beautiful.
It's just
your poetry is beautiful.
So I haven't been coming here for a while to practice. I think I'm supposed to do that for some reason, like
If the shadows appreciate your poetry?
Yeah. But somebody was very unkind in some criticism recently, and I'm having trouble coming up with new material.
Well, how about we sit down a bit and have a bit of a workshop? You can tell us about your process, and perhaps we can help you a bit. And London will actually start. She unscrews her scepter, which the bulb part at the end actually comes apart, and there's like teacups. And she sets out 4 teacups, and there's hot tea still steaming that you can see rising out of the top of the scepter. And she starts to pour tea and hand it out to people. And amongst other things, I am using my time for tea character move. When I spend time caring for someone in need, I can alleviate some of their suffering.
Okay, so you roll with threads. So you have 2 threads.
Mm-hmm.
So you can roll and add 2.
Okay.
So I would say that she has she has like a unpleasant truth on her that is, she thinks her poetry is bad.
Yep, I've got a 9.
Okay.
Which I believe changes a temporary unpleasant truth to a temporary unpleasant maybe. I'm not quite sure what that means.
Temporary unpleasant truths, they have a mechanical value, so they're like give a -1 to the person affected. Mm-hmm. Changing them to a maybe is they still have an effect in the narrative, but they don't have a mechanical effect, and they're less concrete. Like they're more of a possibility than like a certainty.
Okay.
So how let's
yeah,
so we'll say that like the unpleasant truth that she's got, you can change that to a maybe.
Okay.
So right now she thinks her poetry is bad. So in the course of the conversation that you have while you're having tea, you can try and shift that to something less concrete.
Mm-hmm.
Bad poetry is totally a legitimate poetic form. Just because everyone doesn't like it doesn't mean it's... Just because not everyone likes it doesn't mean that it's bad.
Okay, that's kind of you to say. Okay, so you're saying changing that truth to...
Besides, great artists are never appreciated in their time.
Okay, actually roll to convince.
Okay, let's see. Roll to
So that's roll with persuade.
And my persuade +1, 11.
All right. So on a hit, they listen to what you have to say and find you either charming, convincing, or trustworthy. And they will attempt to fulfill your request to the best.
Am I supposed to have a specific request?
Well, you're you're basically trying to change her mind about her poetry.
Okay. My request is just feel better about yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So, did you say whether she finds you convincing, charming, or trustworthy? Was that?
I think convincing and trustworthy are basically the same thing here, but does one make more sense than the other? Anyone?
Well, yeah, it's you pick. Just pick one.
Convincing.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me just see. And she starts like you see her start to like think and try and come up with something. On the fly. And then she starts reciting some poetry. And it is beautiful poetry, but it still has a deep psychic effect on anybody nearby. So roll to brave danger.
All of us?
Somebody can start, and then they can maybe support the others with their roll if they get a 10 plus.
I will go first. Let's see, that is an 8, and brave danger is plus pluck, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a 10 for me.
Okay, so on a 10 plus, you're able to listen to the poetry without succumbing to the effects the empathic effect that it has on people around her, and you can pick both. So you don't suffer any direct difficulty, and you can create an opportunity for someone else. So you can express a temporary truth for them that will help them with their role.
I think that London is not going to be shown up by a scruffy pirate princess. So whatever their stiff upper lip is going to require, they endure as well.
So I had to step away for a second. It sounds like we're rolling for pluck rolls to listen to the poetry without becoming grounded in despair.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm supporting you because you're not going to let me show you up.
Okay.
So you get a +1 to your roll.
Pluck is not my thing, but we'll go for it.
You could swap. You can choose to swap. You can swap
true.
it.
But I already rolled before I chose to do that. I rolled double ones. So it's 3. And I don't know if there's any mechanical effect of rolling snake eyes, but I just did.
No mechanical effect other than it's a mess. So let me just look at your truths again. Okay. So, the shadows around London are reacting to their obvious, the distress at the how deeply they're being affected by this poetry. They're taking it as an insult against their princess, and you start feeling feeling the shadows crowd around you, and the shadow princess also looks a little teary-eyed. Is it that? I'm sorry. Is it bad?
No,
No, it's not bad. It's just I'm so moved. It's just very. Oh, it's so. Just reminding me of a bunch of things that I generally don't like to think about. Rain, why have you not gotten you new shoes? Must you not have shoes to be a proper princess? It's really so tragic that you lost them, and really you should let us get you new ones.
Yes.
And my jewelry keeps going missing, and I'm trying to paint a brave face on it, but one of there's a piece, and it was my grandmother's, and I can't find it anymore, and I don't know what. I'm always very careful with it. Why would it have gone missing? I don't know where it is. I've mislaid my own shadow, so apparently I can't be trusted with anything.
Okay, so so are you trying to convince her that it's
mostly I was role playing out the consequences.
Okay. So yeah, the shadows are still sort of crowding around you. Maybe one of them is your shadow, but you can't really tell. Daniel, you haven't done.
I would like to sort of distract the shadow princess to make her not react to how London has reacted. So I would like to run up to her and hug her real tight, and because I'm also affected by the poetry, and I just want to hug her and tell her this is so beautiful. This is the most beautiful poem I have ever heard.
Okay.
And make her a little bit. I mean, I'm not lying, but I just want to make her not listen to what London is saying, and to not see how the shadows react mainly.
Okay. So yeah.
Is that a persuade or?
It's probably a persuade. Yeah, to convince others. You're basically trying to change your mind by like taking her mind off of.
Yeah. Okay, so this is persuade.
And remember, you can always swap stats if you.
Ah, yes, I forgot that. Okay, so I will maybe try to swap persuade with pluck, so I get +3.
All right. So
instead of +1.
Swapping persuade with pluck just costs 1 blot of fate. So
1 blot of fate, yes. So I get +3. Okay. 5 + 3 is 8.
Okay.
Which is good. Good thing that I swapped.
Okay.
It would have been a 6.
So on a hit, they listen to what you have to say and find you charming, convincing, or trustworthy. I think. Well, you get to pick, but.
Yes, I think convincing maybe because I was.
Okay.
Or trustworthy. I think both. Both could work.
And I think you're already giving her an incentive, like the hug.
Yeah.
So, you distract her from what's going on over there.
Yeah.
I would
Mods?
like to do something sort of simultaneously with that.
Yep.
I'm going to have my Sunday after school special and say, a pirate's code is never to steal from your friends. And I guess we're friends. And I pull what I can only assume is her grandma's necklace out of my coat.
Okay. Roll with threads.
Roll with
So-
threads. Okay.
So you have 2 threads? Yeah, 2 threads.
Okay. Oh, clear? Yes. Submit. I have 2 threads, so that's 13.
Okay, so
Oh,
what you
I am-
quote is a temporary truth for all listening. So, Pirate's Code is never to steal from friends, and that means you're friends.
Hopefully this cheers everyone up.
Okay, so you pass that back to London.
London will take it and be like, oh, Maud, where did you find it? And then I actually process what you said. It's like, oh, Maud.
I'm sorry. It's a pirate thing.
Still,
You have your tea. I have my stealing things. You know how it is.
I'm not sure I do. Thank you for giving it back then.
All right, so
London's going to sit here and have feelings.
yeah,
Say what?
London's going to sit here and have a lot of feelings.
I think your mood clears from that, and the shadows start to calm down, both from you not being as distraught, and also from the soothing of the Shadow Princess's poetry. And they all but one recede. Your own shadow melts back into place behind you.
Yay.
The Shadow Princess smiles and says, "They seem to be calm again. Thank you."
Thanks to you.
I'm just glad we could help.
Oh, is that Shadowroot?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We found some on our way to the... Where were we going?
Is it okay if we have it? A pirate's code is never to steal from friends. So if it's yours, we wouldn't want it.
Oh, no, if you need it for something, of course.
Thank you.
So, are you coming to the party? And that's where we'll end.
Okay.
We've all learned our lessons.
We will have a very angsty party, but we are all friends, so that's what you do for your friends sometimes.
All right, so I'm going to end the broadcast, and then we'll do some quick stars and wishes. So say goodbye to YouTube. YouTube.
Bye.